All right, you guys, it is currently Monday, so happy Monday. It has been a minute. I am back at home from Ohio, and I got a video about that dropping on Wednesday, so be ready for that. We got a interesting topic to break down today, and let's just hop right into it because it needs to be spoken about. Why do we have so many people that claim to be Christian when they don't know anything about being a Christian? There's so many people claiming to be Christian now and they haven't even read the Bible, don't even really know time and effort of looking and realizing what a Christian actually is and what the word means. Now, I will say the origin of the word Christian is kind of like a little skewed a little bit. I guess that's the word. I think a couple months ago I was told like it was almost like a slur basically. What the Romans used to call the followers of Christ after Jesus died. There's different interpretations of where it came from, and I think that's supposedly one of them. Another one was just like that's just what they called followers of Jesus, Christians, which means little Christ. So do what you may. But if you ask any lukewarm, these Christians I'm talking about, they probably don't even know half that stuff. So that's one thing right there. It's so frustrating seeing people call themselves Christians, seeing people put Bible verses in their bios, and they only read the Bible on Sunday in a church. They do all this worldly stuff and go hang with the wrong people and say things they probably shouldn't say. And their actions don't even seem anywhere near what a Christian would do. Let's start here. Just because you believe in God does not make you a Christian. There are many, I'm pretty sure there are even atheists that while they don't worship a God, they believe that there is a God. They just choose not to worship. So that's one thing. And quite frankly, I feel like a lot of us act more like them than we do actual Christians. So that's a problem. But it's very worldly, but it is what it is. Just because you acknowledge that there's a God out there in the world does not mean that you're a Christian. That's not what that means. Also, the next thing it means, if you believe that you being baptized is what's going to get you to heaven, you could not be farther from the truth. Just because you're baptized as a baby, as a child, and you went to church every Sunday because your parents made you to, and that's it. Actions outside of that, the classic, you're a Christian one day a week, and the rest of the 6 you're doing whatever, being like the rest of the world. You're not. That's not how you get in heaven. That's just not how that works. There is so much that goes into being a Christian, and it's quite insulting for people like me who are trying to be even just decent Christians. And there's people out there that ruin and that make it a lot harder to better the reputation of us Christians. So that's why I want to talk about this, and it's just super frustrating. I don't know where this idea of Christians are somebody who's baptized when they're a kid and they're younger and I believe in God, I'm a Christian. No, stop saying that, please. That is not what that means. I was baptized when I was a kid, when I was like 5 or 6. Don't get me wrong, I knew I loved God throughout my life, but my actions never showed that at all. Never. You go to school, you go swearing, and you're trying to go and hang with the wrong people. When you're looking for a relationship, you're not thinking about somebody that's going to help you grow as a man, as a person, but somebody that's just cool and likes your jokes and was pretty fine. That's basically what it is. That's how it is for a lot of us. So let's just get that out of the way. And I'm trying to nail that point in there. It's like recently I've seen over the couple months, so many people love posting stuff on their Instagram stories, but then how are you going to post stuff about Christianity on your Instagram story? Like, oh, like God is so amazing, he does this. But yet here you are posting all this other stuff that does not show that you're a Christian at all. Saying all this stuff that doesn't show you're a Christian at all. Listen to all this music and like all these different themes and stuff that do not hold Christian values. You're not a Christian. There's probably somebody that's going to see this video and be like, who are you to tell other people that I'm not a Christian or that they're not a Christian? I'm just helping you out. Because don't lie to yourself saying you're a Christian, and when the time comes and you don't make it, and you find yourself going down and not up, then I'm part of that problem if I haven't told you. I'm just being a good friend. A good friend doesn't lie to their friends. What I think needs to happen is people just need to own up. Stop sitting in the middle. Stop. If this is Christianity, this is like I'm not a believer or I believe in something else. You can't sit here. That's not how that works. That's not how life in general works. When in life have you been able to pick and choose and try to fit into both and it actually works out for you in the end? It does not work that way. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not two-sided either. There are plenty of other religions that you could be a part of, right? You can be a non-believer. There's all these other religions, and there's Christianity. You cannot dabble in each and everything and pick and choose what you want to believe in. That's not gonna, that would make your life a lot worse, if anything. If somebody has to ask you if you're a Christian, find out if you're a Christian, you're probably not a Christian. The people I'm friends with now, the people that I've spent so much time with recently, I knew they were Christian. Just because I knew they went to church didn't mean anything. It was from spending just a couple minutes with them that I realized this is what Christians look like. This is what it looks like. That's the type of effect it should be. You should have on other people. Just keeping it real. Let's also talk about the facts that, guys, like, demons believe in Jesus. Literal demons believe in Jesus. So my question to you, are you a Christian or are you a demon? Yeah, it hurts, don't it? Anywho, I'm gonna leave that one alone. There's, in the Bible, it's referenced that when Lucifer fell from heaven, that he took a third of the stars down with him, being the, obviously, the dragon that is spoken about in the story. And a third of the stars are supposed to be some of the angels that went down with him. How do you feel? Why do you think that is? Like, you here on earth doing these worldly things that you do is going to get you to heaven and secure you a place, when there are literally angels who were in heaven that fell. It's almost like people take for granted what Christianity is and who God is, who Jesus is, what Jesus did. There's so much more that goes into it. And unfortunately, our society has twisted that definition of what a Christian is, what a Christian should be. So let's break that down. So, Miles, if I'm not a Christian, then what is a Christian? If you want to say all this stuff, then tell me, what is a Christian? Well, first of all, a Christian is somebody that believes not only in God, but in the Holy Trinity. That is God, the Holy Spirit, or the Holy Ghost, which some people may call it, and Jesus, all being one, but also three separate things at the same time. That's the first thing. You also believe that God created the earth. You also believe in this, the Bible, and you believe that everything in here is true. Not only do you believe everything is true, you don't try to twist it and manipulate it to fit your own emotional agenda and schemes, which, quite frankly, this month we've seen a lot of that. A lot of people like to try to twist what's in the Bible to fit, well, to make it seem like, make it feel, fit their emotions, make them feel better, to validate their feelings. And that's not right. And that basically is a sin. I'm pretty sure that's somewhere in here somewhere. But twisting the word for your own use, your own, for manipulating it, that's not right. You also believe that Jesus was the Son of God. You believe that he was human and God in one, and that he walked this earth, and that he was perfect, a perfect human. And not only that, you believe that he did die and that he came back. If you, first of all, if any of that stuff I just said, you question, you doubt, that's literally the basis of all of our Christian religions. Those things. That is the fundamental base. If you cannot believe any of that, if you doubt any of that wholeheartedly, I don't think this. I think that maybe he was this, but not. No, you're not a Christian then. I'm sorry, but like, that's just how it works for every Christian religion. And I know. I've done the study. I've done the research. I went to Catholic school for 7 years. And I wasn't even Catholic, and even they believe the same thing that some of Methodists and Baptists believe in. All these Pentecostal and all these other people. That's the fundamental, right then and there. Next, if you want to call yourself a Christian, do you even read this thing once a day? If not once a day, once a week, excluding a Sunday. Take out Sunday. Take out whatever church-related thing you're forced to go to, somebody's dragging you to. Do you read it on your own free time? Do you? That's a Christian. And not only that, the person they try wholeheartedly to follow this. They may not follow it perfectly, but they at least try to wholeheartedly. And by that, there's going to be a lot of instances that I try to bring up that people can relate to. But let's say you're with a group of friends, right? They want to go and get drunk. You're Christian, but you go and do it anyway, just because you want to have fun, you want to impress them or whatever, yada yada. No, that is not what that means. If you're a Christian, you say, I'm going to say, pass on that. You're gonna go, do something else. I'm busy. Come up with some excuse, right? It's different if you're in an environment and you get peer pressured into it. That's why, yes, it's still sin. It's just like you kind of falling short in a way. Instead of you just willingly like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. If you're in a situation, you peer pressure, that means you're resisting it. You just lose the fight. But in this situation I'm talking about, you're not even putting up a fight. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, why not? So your heart's intentions, that's pretty big. Those are basically the big things of what makes a Christian. And are you spreading this word? That's one thing that a lot of us struggle with, and something that I've learned last year that I just started doing was spreading the word. At least consistently. Are you actively telling people about what's in these books? Are you actively spreading this message to people that haven't really heard it or need to hear it, that are in denial about it, and willing to take the criticism that comes with that? That's a big one. Are you doing that? That is what a Christian is. That is what a Christian should be. Honestly, that's about it. Like Christians, the world likes to twist being a Christian. You see a lot of celebrities claiming they're Christian when they're really not. Just because you see a celebrity praying once every month don't mean they're a Christian. Just because you see a photo of them leaving a church doesn't mean that they're a Christian. That's not how that works. Christianity is not just going to church. It's not just believing that God is there, being baptized. Those three things alone do not mean you're a Christian. It will not get you saved. It is the smaller things in those that will get you saved. Are you spreading the word? Are you living your life based on what this book tells you to do? Are you doing that? Do you wholeheartedly believe in Jesus and Him existing and that He's going to come back inevitably? If you can't do that, if you're not doing that, then you're just a worldly Christian, these New Age Christians. And quite frankly, that's where the world has been headed recently, and it's hurt real Christians, real believers, all different religions and sects and faiths. That's what a real Christian is.